So I have some issues with the fighting style we see in Dune. Now, don't get me wrong, the franchise it's just the goat of sci-fi franchises, and the idea of having these energy shields that forces you to use melee weapons and knives and stuff like that, it's cool as hell, and the rule of cool factor is off the chart, right? So don't get me wrong, but if you do start to think about it for a bit, you kind of quickly figure out that there are a number of ways why this doesn't work at all. And here you have two versions of how to defeat the shields. Flamethrower, just hose them down with burning liquid. Uh, what the hell are they gonna do? Or burning gas for that matter. I mean, the shields lets gas through. Otherwise, you can't breathe if it doesn't. Right? It lets air and oxygen flow through the shield so you can breathe, which means gas will flow through the thing. As you can see here, you can gas people to death or use fire to kill them. If you hose them down with the burning liquid, it's gonna fall onto the shield and then slowly drip through, right? So why engage in sword fights if you can kill them using fire or poisonous gas? What's the point, right? Or if you have flammable gas, spray them down with the gas and then ignite it, and the gas ignites within the confines of that shield. So why fight them with daggers if you can defeat them in this way? So the whole sword fighting thing makes no sense really. You should be using gas or flamethrowers, right? And if you really want melee weapons, they should obviously use pikes instead of knives and swords. I mean, if you have a block of pikemen, you're gonna tie down the enemy at range and then slowly push the pikes through the shield and score those killing blows so you can have electrocuted weapons and everything, right? So how will anyone reach a wall of pikemen if you have a sword or a knife and you are faced with 50 pikes? Why fight with swords when pikes are so much more effective? And that's just what we traditionally see in the books and what have you. And going to the movies, come on, why aren't they using lasers on Arrakis? We see it time and time again in movies that they're not afraid of using lasers in the vicinity of shields. Obviously, the whole nuclear thing is not a thing in the movie franchise of the Dune setting. So they really should be using lasers all over the place, which means that last battle when the Fremen assault the Emperor's ship and what have you. I mean, 3 Sardaukar with las guns would just cut down the entire Fremen army in 20 seconds. Because we see them time and time again using lasers really close to shields. So that is not something they're afraid of. So that last battle in Dune 2 it's just nonsense because 3 Sardaukar with las guns would just wipe out the entire Fremen army as it is depicted in the movies. It's just bonkers. And I actually made a video about this, a previous video about that battle and how it's just it doesn't add up. I mean, take a look at this is when the Fremen are attacking Harkonnen harvesters, and they're using shoulder-carried, shoulder-fired las guns to bring down these huge vehicles. And we see, like I said in the movie, that they're not afraid of having lasers right next to shields. That last battle makes zero sense whatsoever. And I've also made a couple of other videos here, like explaining why the fights in Dune do not work with the technology they have available. Bringing up other points than I do in this video, and also my point is that they really should be using guns instead of knives, up close and personal. And then I also made that video, the other video here, this is what Dune fights would look like realistically. Basically explaining what you would need to do in order to push a knife through the shield and through armor. So you can't swashbuckle like we see in the movies with these rapid movements and then slowing the blade down. It doesn't work because you lose all the momentum in cutting the opponent, since the shield slows down the blades to such an extent. So no, it doesn't work the way it's described in the books or shown in the movies. They really should use other options than knives in these battles.